Hey everybody, what's going on? Randy here, Academia Christi once more. Very excited here in the kitchen to get into something I haven't done just yet, but I've been waiting for. We are finally going to try pickling these jalapenos. These are my Rebel Gardens ones. I guess I never washed them, maybe. I wasn't sure if they were gonna be good, and they actually, obviously they all ripened. Turned out looking decent, feeling decent enough. We're gonna take a look inside, see what they really look like. Honestly, I waited so long; they're all already almost drying. I didn't know you could dry jalapenos, but I guess so. So that's actually something that we could look into doing in the future: drying jalapenos. This one's the most dry, maybe, but we're gonna check them out, see if we can still use them for pickling, and if we can, we will. These two are newer Rebel Gardens ones, but I'm going to use them as well. I have some other ones I'm not going to use because they're real nice and firm. These two are still also a little sketchy, so I'm going to throw those in with the other ones that I thought were sketchy, and we'll see just how sketchy they are. 2, 4, 6, 8 of them might be enough. They're decent sized jalapenos, so that might be enough to fill up our jar here. This is a pretty big ball jar, actually. I guess it's a quart, right? But yeah, so oh yeah, cups. 1, 2, 3 cups. So yeah, let's get into it, I guess. If I can use a smaller jar, I probably will. Okay, I actually had the wrong jar. It was a wide mouth, and I wouldn't be able to use that one. This is the one I was actually prepared to use, I think, which looks like it's a little, still probably the same as the other one. 3 cups, perhaps, maybe a little smaller than that. Probably it's supposed to be a quart. These are 16-ounce ones that I just grabbed, and this is a small. Well, it's just a small one. It's a 1 cup, 1.5 cup. Yeah, 1.5 cup. So maybe half a quart. I don't know, but I don't think that'll be enough. But one of these will certainly do. I'm gonna go ahead and soak these real quick. Okay, I don't think that it will take very much here for us, so let's start with measuring using the jar here. We will need 2 parts of the vinegar to 1 part water, and I just realized this is a 2 cup size jar, and so it's going to be, I guess, 8, 9, 10 ounces, so halfway between there, and then we'll do whatever, 5 ounces, which would take us just about to the 16. So let's do that. Right, and now pour some water. For that, we just need our 2 teaspoons of salt. Yeah, 1 teaspoon per cup of liquid, and we have 2 cups. And you want to use kosher or some other salt with no additives, nothing for non-stickiness. One. All right. And finally, whatever spices somebody would want to add. And we have here just some local grocery store-bought pickling spice, and I think I'll just add a bit of that in. Let's see, it has, well, all it really says is it has some mustard and orange peel, so that's interesting. Big seeds that look like maybe coriander. All right. Probably garlic in there too, I'm sure. Ooh, interesting smell to it. But I'm gonna do something smart here. Before putting that into this water, I am going to cut all these jalapenos up, and we're gonna take a look at them first, and we're gonna see if we really should use them for pickling or not. All right. I actually just read that red jalapenos, ripe jalapenos, are better for sauce actually, because they're softer. These smell amazing. They look amazing. Packed with seeds. And I don't know. I think we might have to transition this to a sauce instead of pickling, which may, well, it's just going to require a few more steps perhaps, but we'll still get all these cut up into small rings. Get all the seeds out this time. We probably wouldn't have taken the seeds out if we were going to pickle them, but now we will. All right, here we got our quickly simmering. Probably bring that heat down a little bit. Jalapenos and garlic. And I read a little too late that you should actually not cut the peppers, because now the capsaicin is going to be released into the air while they cook here. But that's all right. It may just make us cough a little bit. Nice Christmas medley of colors here. And get a bit of an even heat going. It smells amazing already. Make sure nothing sticks. Got our cast iron pot here, pan here, apparently the way to go. So we'll do this, and then we will add some water. And we will then cook it in the water for about 5 more minutes, and then that'll be about it. And take it off and add some vinegar, some cumin, and that will be all. That will be all. Oh, after we then blend all that, of course, and make it into a sauce. So yeah, smells amazing. I'm not having any urge to cough, so that's cool. Probably doesn't need too much longer here. I think we ended up with a nice amount, actually maybe a little more garlic than, just it looks like there's more garlic than we need, but this is elephant garlic. It should be a little milder flavor. Alright, that's got to be simmering, right? So take this off. Alright, so here we got our about a cup of water, and we're gonna have to turn this back on because there is this second step. It seems like a decent bit of water, but hey, that's what it calls for. I actually did a little less than a cup. So yeah. Now we will bring this to a simmer again. And then it'll come out. Add some vinegar and water. And mix it all up in a blender. I guess the juices now, the pepper and the garlic will mix with that water. We'll get a start to our sauciness. Now at this point, you would have probably, I think, cut the peppers up if you wanted. Or maybe you can even wait till after this, if you didn't already do it like me. Okay, so pretty good simmering heat here, I think. Now we're going to add in a little bit of our cumin, and then, because we didn't put any onions in the beginning, I'm going to put just a hint of some onion powder in there too. So let's give it a go, and then we'll just let it sit here for a bit like this, with that cooking together. Not too much. I don't know if that's a lot or not. And just a touch of onion powder. Alright. Let that mix in. If I had some black peppercorn, I'd maybe even add some of that in. Give it a fuller heat. I'm wondering what color this will turn out with the few green jalapenos thrown in there. Of course with as much garlic as we have in there with it. It smells so good. Can just get it. I just smell a hint of the cumin now, so that really died off nicely, as I was hoping, because it was kind of strong once I put it in at first. This is very experimental, so bear with me. I don't think we need to mix it up too much. Just want to make sure it doesn't stick too much to our pan here. We'll probably put it in something else even to do this. A different skillet, different pot. But it's going nice, it's going well. You smell something, Sydney? Do you smell something? Okay, I think that will do it. Just needed it a little longer to go with the spices. It's definitely done. And now we can add this to our container here for blending once it cools down a little bit, I think. Alright, here we go, and we'll just scoop that stuff right in. We don't have much of the juices left over. Kind of got all absorbed, I guess, or burnt away. Probably simmered a little longer than we should have, but that's alright. And there's one more thing that we forgot to add the salt at that point, so I'm gonna actually just put a dab of salt in now to blend it with. Probably a little less than we would have put in earlier. Still a bit hot. And then we also need to put in what ends up being about half of this. We need 2/3 vinegar, and we can add a little more water too. That'll be fine. And we have 2 parts vinegar and 1 part water in here, which is 2 cups. So half of this down to our 8 here will be fine. And it also had the kosher salt in it, so that's going to add maybe a little bit more. Oh yeah, salty content. Maybe we don't even need to add our own salt. Okay. Don't want to add too much. It'll get a little, maybe a little too liquidy. Just a bit. All right, and let's blend it up kind of slowly. I don't think we have to go too crazy here. And then after that, we can just let it sit. Not sure what that noise is. Whew. Vinegary. Let's take a look at that. I think I want it maybe a little smoother than this. I think the heat's sealing this up pretty tight for something. Decent consistency already. Smelling pretty good. Smells very vinegary still. Maybe a little heavy on the vinegar, although probably used a little less than what it called for. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to add one more thing here to the end. It also called, if you wanted, for a little sugar. I figured we wouldn't need the sweetness, but I think to help with the vinegar, we'll just do about, I don't know, maybe a teaspoon, maybe a teaspoon and a half. Again, less than it calls for. hopefully, yeah, that'll bring down the vinegar taste a bit. I don't think it'll be any more mixed than that. And I think we can leave it sitting covered till it's ready to be put in probably that small jar we have here. I think it'll fit in there. If not, we'll use the rest. But I guess we have to test it. So we can do that now. Here goes nothing. It's probably not going to be very spicy. Wow, it actually smells pretty good now. And I'm not just saying that. All right, here goes nothing. It's a little chunky. It's actually pretty good consistency considering we just used a regular old blender. Ooh. Nice. That's not bad. I think I would go a little lighter on the cumin next time. Just a bit. Maybe a little less vinegar, but that would be measured out better. Other than that, I don't know if I'd change anything. It's really good. Now we will just let it sit like this, mostly covered, and wait for it to cool down.